Good afternoon and welcome to the Humidor Report. Justin here with a, holiday edition. We're getting really close to Christmas here. Hopefully we'll still be able to keep videos running. I'm not sure exactly how Christmas schedules are going to work out, but we're going to do our best to be here with you every week until then. But even though we're at that time of the year where all of the cigar factories start closing for the holidays, many of which are closed for weeks, you don't tend to get a whole lot of new stuff in here in these last few weeks before we hit the new year. But we did. Even though it's been out for a little while, we finally got a little taste of something new from the folks over at Altadas, and that's what we have sitting here in this absolutely beautiful blue box that we've got sitting up front. Now, this is the Montecristo Epic Vintage 12. Now, Montecristo Epic probably sounds familiar, as we do have these on the shelf here. This actually was the original Montecristo Epic. So released in 2012. 2017, they came out with the Montecristo Epic Craft Cured line, which I do believe we've had here at some point. But we haven't had anything, at least in a couple of years now, until this new line expansion that we have here. Also being called the Montecristo Epic Blue because of the blue bands and the blue box. But this is a brand new release from the Grupo de Maestros at Altadas. The Grupo de Maestros is basically the highest end rollers and creators that Altadas has in their cadre. And Altadas is arguably the, if not one of the two, largest manufacturers in the premium cigar game. Altadas is responsible now for Romeo Julieta, Montecristo, Warhawk, Henry Clay, Aging Room, and probably 20 or 30 total blends in their portfolio. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about this new guy here. It is regular production, which was kind of a surprise to me, because this product actually first launched in May. And I believe that was first launched at the Casa de Montecristo. It was kind of a Casa de Montecristo exclusive there in May. In June, it began shipping to select retailers. And then in July, it started shipping at large. We just got these in, though. So it has been that long before we finally got some. And at the moment, we do only have the 110 count box that you see here on the table. But it is regular production, so I imagine as we move into next year, we'll start seeing more and more of these becoming available. But for now, we've got 10 sticks, and we're going to tell you just a little bit about it. What we've got with this guy, it's actually a very, very pretty, a very dark Ecuadorian grown Sumatra. At a glance, I would have thought a Maduro of some persuasion, but it is a very, very dark Ecuadorian grown Sumatra. The binder on it is Dominican, and the filler is Nicaraguan tobacco, along with two more components that give the cigar its name. And that's going to be some more Nicaraguan tobacco and some Dominican tobacco, both from the 2012 crop, hence the name Vintage 12. There are only two sizes of it, which would be the Toro that we have here, and they have a number 2. I've actually read a review on it that was talking about how unusual the shape of this particular number 2 is. If you're familiar with the shape of the Montecristo number 2 as we have it on the shelves, it is different. It is actually more along the lines of this one, which is called the Special number 2. And it's much narrower up top. Typically, your Montecristo number 2 is going to be pretty straight running up to the top and have a pretty short torpedo tip. This one starts its taper almost at the halfway point and does taper to a very narrow end. So that is what the other size of this one looks like. It doesn't look like your traditional Monte number 2. It's got this, what I guess as the jar here would say, the Special number 2. So that would be that size. Don't have any of that size yet. So far, all we have are the Toros. And again, it's got all of your paperwork here, signatures from all of the Grupo de Maestros that were behind this project. And it sounds like it's a fascinating cigar. We just got it in today. It's going to be a little richer probably than most of your Montecristos, but it doesn't sound like this one's going into the real full-body territory like you get with the Espadas, the Montecristo 1935, the Montecristo Nicaragua, etc. Most of those, or actually at least two of those, the Monte 35 and the Montecristo Nicaragua were both made by A.J. Fernandez. But the Espada and the Epics were made by this same Grupo de Maestros that we're talking about that created this one here. So it is new. regular production, like I said, but I don't know how soon it's going to be before we can start seeing a lot of these. So if we're looking for something new and special for Christmas, certainly if you're shopping for a Montecristo fan, this is the latest of the late, and we got 10 sticks here ready to roll out in time for Christmas. So I guess it's going to wrap us up for this week's edition of the Humidor Report. Hopefully we've got some new stuff. I know there's a bunch of stuff on its way. I'm not sure how much new product is going to be coming just because it is that time of year, but hopefully we'll have some fancy new stuff that we can show to you guys here next week and the week after as we move towards the big day coming up on December 25th. So thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. If you have not done so yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. That way you know everything that's happening here at Cigar Club Southeast Texas as it rolls out, because we always like to save the new fancy good stuff for the Humidor Report videos so y'all can hear it here first. So again, like, subscribe, tune in, make sure you're with us here, and we'll be back with you next Wednesday at 3 p.m. with another holiday edition of the Humidor Report. And until then, I'm Justin, and we'll see you at the club.